That's quite a ways. That's, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches. And by doing that, by the way, hopefully you can see the notch. We'll take a closer look at it here in just a second. Welcome back to the workbench, where we try to make things. And we're continuing to try to make today is Revell's Ford FD-100 pickup, the Foose design kit they put out a while back that we're doing quite a bit different. And if you'd like to get caught up on those differences, be sure to check the description down below. There's a playlist there for you, and you can get completely caught up to where we're at right now. Also, do me a favor, down there is a link to Starbond super glues or premium super glues. Go check them out. They're the #1 glue in woodworking. They have supported this channel for years, and I'd like to take them to be the #1 glue in model building. So just go check them out. And down there in the description, there's also a discount code for you. It's TCTV10. Use that at checkout. You'll get 10% off your order. So just do me a favor, just go check them out. And let's bring them to #1 in the model building, not just wood building. But anyways, back to what we're looking at here. I needed to get this motor to sit in the right position. If you remember right, we had a couple issues from yesterday where we couldn't get the hood closed and our our intake, there we go, our intake hose tube, the black thing right there was hitting the firewall, and we needed to correct that. Now, two things happened by making this correction. Here it is. Here's the hood. So let me give you a closer look. Is it gonna be better from up top or below? Let me show you from up top, actually, because now you can see how much the engine is sitting back, or at least, where's my, what is this thing called? A screwdriver. My screwdriver, so I can point here. You can see how much it's sitting behind, or into, I guess you should say, the firewall now. So I was able to move the motor back. I would say, just by making a notch here, I would say we moved it back well over 1 millimeter, which is not much, but in scale, that's quite a ways. That's, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches. And by doing that, by the way, hopefully you can see the notch. We'll take a closer look at it here in just a second. But by doing that, I can now get, because it's the motor, let me see if I can show you this too. The motor is sitting further back in our frame rail notches that we built, the ones that pop up, sitting further back. So now we can get the motor to sit flatter. And look, check this out. The hood fits now. And I did no modification to the transmission tunnel. I thought I was going to have to cut out the transmission tunnel, make it a little bigger so that we could get the motor. Let me pull this back off so it don't come falling out. To get the motor, well, I can't keep it in there, but to get the motor to sit flat enough, I thought I was going to have to, now it is sitting against, it is up against I have it all the way up against the tunnel. But that is definitely going to be flat enough to where I think we'll be okay. Do I have something longer I could use? But I don't guess I do. We're going to be okay as far as angle of the drive shaft to this lowered rear end. Now we are going to have to notch this out still. I've not done that, but we'll do all that once we start getting the back end set in, and then we'll see exactly what we need to do. But I think that was some good news finally. Some good news that we don't actually have to modify the tunnel. We'll be able to get this motor to sit in there just fine, flat enough, low enough. And in fact, with the hood on now, there's actually a little bit I can actually move like it's not touching the hood. There's a little bit of space even. So that's good. Let's actually start pulling this apart a little bit, and we'll look at that notch a little better. Let me see if I can get the cab off. Like so. And in fact, if I just move this out of the way, yeah, I think we can probably, let's take a look down below. Yeah, you can definitely get a good look here. Basically, all I did is very simple. I actually cut here, here, and here, so the sides and the top. I scored it here, which you can still see kind of the score there. And then just folded that back. And then actually, let me pull the interior out and we can see the other side. If I can get it out of here. Get out of there. It really squeezes in tight with all this tape on it. There we go. On the back side, let's see, what's the best way for you to see? I just basically boxed it in. So I added this piece on the top and then on the sides, and I really don't care what that looks like. I did have to kind of shave it back and whatnot, but I really don't care what it looks like because we're going to have our dash dash pad and our dash that sits in here, which is going to be hiding. It sits right like so, which is going to be hiding all that, and we'll never see it. We do still need, speaking of, I do still need to build in the corners here of the dash, so I've got to build in some little corners right here to close in with the cab. But as far as the this notch goes, it's nice and closed in, just super rough on the back. And what I'll do on the front is I'll smooth this out. In fact, I've already started smoothing out the dash itself. It had some ribs molded into it and whatnot. I want to completely smooth that out, which basically I have already. And then I'm going to go in and fill all this with body filler and make it nice and smooth and rounded and nice and pretty. And then I think the firewall will actually be done. But with that in mind, if I just bring back over the chassis, we have to move. We're going to be moving this cross member up, this way. If we're looking at it this way, it's moving it down, but it's actually moving it up. And this is our brake booster here, our brake booster and master cylinder. And I'm going to remove that. And I think the plan is to move it to the dash. So the motor will be literally sits pretty good ways back. In fact, let me put that in. Let's see, the interior sits, let me get it in. It has little grooves it fits in there. And then the motor fits in here like so. And then I have room here to go ahead and put our booster and master brake cylinder and everything just right here where it normally would sit in a modern car. And then we also have a lot of flat space over here for coil box, whatever, all the electronics and stuff can probably sit over here on this side. But I want to make the firewall nice and smooth first. Also, speaking of, we got to build in our fender wells, which that'll give us space too to mount different, whatever, run wire, whatever we need to do. In fact, actually, we'll probably try to hide all the wire if we can. I'll probably have stuff tucking in under the fender wells. We'll try to hide as much wire as possible on this build. We don't want it exposed. But anyways, that's kind of the plan under the hood. And then once I have the motor set exactly where it needs to go, which I'm actually there, I can go ahead and now start building in the motor mounts. I think I'm just going to do first on the chassis is actually build in the motor mounts, because they're going to come off of the frame rails here. Hopefully you can see that. They're just going to come straight off the frame rails on the backside of this frame rail straight over to the motor to hold it right in place, get that locked in. Then I can build in the front end, because I need to know where this motor exactly is going to sit before we start building in the strut towers for our bags. Anyways, and then the last thing I wanted to show you is the fender pretty much in final form. I do need to touch up just right here. Got a little bit of pitting right there, but that's pretty well got it. Make sure you guys can see it. My lower camera has shut off on me, so I'm going to have to do this all up top. Hopefully you can kind of see that is all nice and shaped. It feels nice and smooth. There's a little pit there I'm going to have to fill. I need to get some a filler primer for this. I don't have any filler primer. Speaking of paint, I did want to mention this too. I had some questions about the paint, mainly about the clear, but I just wanted to show the paint again. So we are using, I don't even know what color is this. This is original Chrysler color, dark garnet red pearl. So it's not actually blood red like we were planning on, but it basically looks like the same color. That's why I picked it. And I am using it straight out of the can. I'm just spraying it from the can. It sprays pretty darn thin. You can, hopefully you can see well, maybe you can't. Maybe I'll try to take a picture of this, a close-up picture. I mean, you can still read all the detail, powered by Ford detail, where I sprayed this. By the way, this is base coat, clear coat on these valve covers. And I had the question about people not realizing that there's duplicolor perfect match clear. It's probably hard to realize because it's called protective clear coat, but it is considered a durable high gloss finish. That's what they say. But it's for, all of this is for doing spot repairs on cars, right? So you do some dent pulling, some, quote unquote paint free dent repair, and then you need to patch, you need to do some spot color or whatever. That's what this is for, and it's the base coat clear coat for it. Now Duplicolor also does make a what they call their 1K. I mean, obviously this is a 1K clear also, but their official 1K clear, I guess it's their high gloss clear. Now it's not part of the perfect match system, but I think I'll probably am going to try some of that for the body. I think it's going to be a little higher gloss than this. This isn't super high gloss, but you can build it up. So I'll spray 3-4 coats of this clear, polish it, and it does get very, very high gloss. But I think I'll try some of their 1K stuff. Obviously on a spoon first. I'm going to do it on a spoon first, not on the body first, and see how that works. So give that a try too. So look forward, that'll be coming too. We'll see how that works out. Again, straight from the can. So we'll see how all that works out. Anyways, if that's something you're interested in seeing, if you're interested in seeing how the rest of this truck build works out, hit that subscribe button. Getting close to 10,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button. That'd be a really cool thing to do. Go check out Starbond. Use the code down in the description. Get you 10% off some really good glue. By the way, it comes in kits like this. You're not just getting CA glue. You're getting a full kit with multiple lids, the tips, all the different glue tips. Anyways, go check it out. Let me know what you think here down in the comment section. Let me know, how do you think it's looking out? I love to hear from you guys. Leave me those comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the hype button. I do all those things everybody tells you to do on YouTube. I got a lot of work to get to. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.